Delocalization and immigration are two of the main challenges facing firms and workers in the global economy. The reason is that hiring immigrant workers or delocating part of the production process implies a loss of jobs in the country of origin. This allows also firms to become more competitive and therefore to expand their employment opportunities for native workers. Whether this effect is going to be strong enough depends on the institutional characteristics of the different markets in which firms operate, which implies that it's going to be a lot of cross-country variation. Ideally, to investigate the effects of offshoring and immigration on labor markets, one would like to have large data sets spanning a large set of countries, looking at the individual performance of workers depending on the country in which they are operating. Unfortunately, this sort of data is not readily available, and when it is available, it's not really comparable across countries, which implies that at the moment, the best strategy to get some insights on the effects of offshoring and immigration is to look at some key countries that have a long tradition in terms of both phenomena. That is why, in a research team together with Giovanni Peri, Francesco D'Amuri and Greg Wright, we've started to look at two key countries, the US and Germany. In the case of the US, we are talking about a labor market which is rather flexible, which means that most of the effects can be captured in terms of changes in the wage of native workers rather than changes in the employment of native workers. When you look at these effects, what you see is that immigrant workers are mainly competing with offshore workers and not really with native workers, which implies that the competitiveness effect of this sort of reorganization is increasing the wages of native workers. There is, however, a difference in terms of the effects of immigration offshoring on native employment. The reason being that the effect of immigration on firm competitiveness seems to be much stronger. Clearly, an important issue is whether these sort of effects that have been observed for the US also work in other countries. In countries that in particular have less flexible labor markets, such as Germany, for example. That is why we focus on the German labor market, being Germany a country of immigration and also a country that has a labor market which is less flexible. What we've seen is that immigrants mainly compete with previous immigrants for jobs rather than with natives, implying that the competition between natives and immigrants is really weak.